On the surface, retirement planning hasn't changed all that much over the years. You work, you save, and then you retire. But while the mechanics may be the same, today's savers are facing some challenges that previous generations didn't have to worry about. First of all, life expectancy is longer, which means you'll need your money to last longer, potentially into your 90s. Bond yields are also much lower than they used to be, which means you can't buy a few fixed income instruments and earn a double-digit return. Then there is the health crisis due to the coronavirus pandemic. So, how can you have the retirement you've always wanted? After all, retirees want to experience all the things they couldn't do when they were too busy working. Exotic travel vacations, marathon running, novel writing, spending more time with friends and family, the possibilities are almost endless. There are several steps, which we explain in this episode, from budgeting and setting goals to choosing the right retirement savings account that will help you map out a plan that's right for you. But before we go too far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next videos on the best investment to include in your retirement portfolio. If you're planning for retirement, these are some things you can start doing right now. 1. Make the decision to start a retirement plan. The hardest thing about saving for retirement is probably just getting started. Most people don't have a financial background, so it's hard to think about things like IRAs or investment portfolios. It's also intimidating to think that you need to save hundreds of thousands of dollars for retirement, especially if you're just getting started. But saving for retirement isn't as daunting as it seems. If you start saving early, even small contributions can add up to big savings thanks to compound interest. 2. Determine how much you'll need. One of the hardest parts about preparing for retirement is thinking about life as a 70-something. A lot of people get so overwhelmed about saving for an unknown future that they end up not saving anything at all. Thankfully, planning for retirement is not overly onerous, but you will need a roadmap, one that can evolve over time to keep you on track. The first place to start is to think about what your life might look like in retirement. Sit down with a pen and paper and write down your retirement goals, then think about how much everything will cost. Rising cost of living. We don't know what prices will be like in the future, and in recent years inflation has run below the benchmark of 2%, but the average inflation rate over the past century, 1913 to 2013, was 3.22%. So plan for higher prices in the decades ahead. You'll also want to factor in your day-to-day expenses like housing costs, food and healthcare. Remember, some of the costly expenses you have now, such as a mortgage or childcare costs, will no longer exist, which could result in a decrease in your overall expenses as you near retirement. Next, add up all the income you might receive in your post-working years. Factor in pension income if you have one, social security payments and any other dollars, such as rental income from a property, that may come your way. Match up revenue and expenses and you'll get a good idea of what you'll need to set aside for every year of your retirement. A comfortable retirement. What's the magic number to hit for a golden retirement? Over the years, finance experts have said that people need to save $1 million. That's recently climbed to $2 million as the cost of living and age demographics have changed. Some advise that you need to save 80 to 90% of your annual pre-retirement income, or that you need to save 12 times your pre-retirement salary. Those numbers and formulas can be a guide, but they're not gospel. Everyone's situation will be different. 3. Determine how long it will need to last. Figuring out how many years your retirement savings will last isn't an exact science. There are many variables at play: investment returns, inflation, unforeseen expenses, and all of them can dramatically affect the longevity of your savings. But there's still value in coming up with an estimate. The simplest way to do this is to weigh your total savings plus investment returns over time against your annual expenses. 4. Are you on track to reach the lifestyle you want? It's important to evaluate whether or not you're on track to reach the retirement lifestyle you want. There are retirement calculators available to help with this. If you are on track, congratulations. If you're not, there are some things you can do to align with your goals. The next step explains better. 5. Not on track. If you're not on track, here's how you can turn your situation around. Create a budget. This is your current budget, which takes into account all of your present-day income and expenses. While you should have some idea as to what you'll need to save per month based on your retirement goals, you also need to make sure that you have that money to save. It's a good idea to put retirement savings as a line item in your budget, just like food and shelter costs, so that you can set aside those funds every month. Set automatic transfers. This is a tool that you can set up between your checking account and your retirement account so you don't forget to save. Set it up so that on the same day every month, maybe it's the day you get paid, funds you're earmarking for the future go from your bank account into your investment. By doing it this way, there's no risk of you spending that money. Create an emergency account. Having a separate emergency account, usually with about 3 to 6 months of salary saved up, will allow you to cover any unexpected costs without throwing your retirement plans out of whack. Pay down debt. One goal for everyone should be to reach 65 debt-free. That includes credit card debt and especially the high-interest reward card kind, car and mortgage loans, any student and other big loans. The reason is simple: you don't want to be going into your non-earning years owing money. 6. Seek professional support. A lot of people like investing on their own, but when it comes to retirement savings, it's a good idea to work with a financial advisor who has a certified financial planning designation. Here are a few things to look for in a good advisor. Qualifications. CFP is the most widely recognized financial advisor designation. Services they provide. Do they specialize in retirement planning? Can they help you create a budget? Do they sell all kinds of securities? Compensation. Some advisors get paid by the mutual fund companies they invest your money with. Others charge an upfront fee or an hourly rate for help. The latter are usually called fee-only planners, and some people think they're more objective since they're not getting paid by anyone else but you. Track record. Ask to speak to references. You don't need your advisor to provide stellar returns, but rather you want to make sure they're attentive, understand your needs, can create solid plans, and know how to help you invest. One of the first conversations you'll have with an advisor is around your time horizon and risk tolerance levels, which are two key things to consider when building a portfolio. Most advisors tell their clients to get more conservative as they get older because there's less time to recover from a drop. That doesn't mean you need to hold more bonds than stocks, but if you had, say, an 80% stock and a 20% bond mix, then you may want to be closer to 50-50 come retirement. This is a rule of thumb, though many people reach retirement with a big nest egg and can still keep a good portion of their assets in stocks. Just make sure that any money you need for day-to-day living is not subject to market ups and downs. That's it for this episode. Please give us your feedback in the comment section below. To watch more episodes on financial topics like this, hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to support us even more, buy us a coffee from the link in the description. Good luck and see you in the next episode.